Hey guys, my name is Bree, and today I'm going to be sharing with y'all my most anticipated reads for the summer. So the first book I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is a book that I really am excited to read, and that book is Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. So this book I've heard nothing but great things about, and I actually just got finished reading the first one, which is The Darkest Minds, and holy crap, The Darkest Minds was so good. There was such a beautiful cliffhanger at the end. I mean, a part of me wanted to just like crumple up and cry forever because it ended in such a way that was amazing, but it was also really upsetting, and I had so many mixed emotions because I was like, why did that happen? But then at the same time I was like, oh my gosh, that happened! Yeah, I actually finished it at like 2 in the morning, and I didn't exactly have the energy to pick this up immediately because I was internally crying and debating on whether or not I was going to continue with the series because it was so good, but that cliffhanger, it was so intense that I didn't know what to do with myself. So this book sounds super amazing. It's the second book in the series. So in the series, we follow a girl named Ruby, and she is one of many kids in the United States that has survived a disease called IAN. And I forget what the acronym actually stands for, but it's IAAN. Basically, this disease is known to kill kids anywhere from the ages of 10 to 14. Well, it turns out that all of the kids that have survived this disease end up having powers. Like, for example, you have the reds, which have fire power. You have your greens, which are good at science and math, which I don't really know how that's kind of a superpower, but I mean, if they're good with technology, then like, hey, kudos to you. You have your yellows, which can control electricity through their fingers. You have your oranges, who are basically the badasses of the group. They can control people with thoughts, and as long as they like give them a command, then like they'll do that. It's pretty cool. And then you have your blues, who technically use telekinetic powers, and they can move things with their minds, which I think is super cool. So this one is the second one in the series, and I'm super excited for this one because the first one left me with such a cliffhanger that I feel like I just need to read this one first, but we're gonna get, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this series before the end of the summer because book one was just amazing, and I know so many people that have read this and they said it was great, so this is book one. The second book I'm going to be showing you guys today is a book that I'm really excited to read. It's written by one of my favorite authors, Miss Sara J. Maas, and that book is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Guys, I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book. I've actually read is not a word. I've actually read the first chapter already, and so far I already love it. Like, that's how quick I hooked onto this book. I actually tend to do that a lot. I tend to read the first chapter before, I tend to read the first chapter before I even buy the book. Like, I'll just sit there in Barnes & Nobles and skim through all of chapter 1, and then if I like it, I'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna buy it. And that's what happened with this one. So in A Court of Thorns and Roses, we follow a girl named Feyre, and she's the youngest in her family. She's the daughter of basically a good-for-nothing father, and she's in charge of like hunting and taking care of her family, and one day when she's out in the forest, she hunts and kills a wolf. Well, it turns out that that wolf is a magic creature or a part of the Fae, and this guy named Tamlin comes and like attacks her and is like, hey, you killed one of our Fae, so in return it's like an eye for an eye. I'm gonna kill you because you killed one of my Fae. So instead of dying, he offers her the opportunity to come back with him to his Fae realm, and instead of him taking her life, which I think is super cool, and that like totally leads to all this romance and everything. So I'm super excited for this read because I heard it's amazing, and I'm so excited to see how these characters follow through with each other because apparently there's a romance, and it's intense romance. So yeah, this sounds great. Book number 3. So the next book I have to show you guys is one that I've actually had this on my shelf since I think January or February, either one. Basically, it's been on my shelf since the beginning of the year, and I have yet to pick it up. Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. Basically, I was only drawn towards this book because of the cover, because look, it's so pretty, and it's kind of shiny, and it just feels nice, and it's got the raised words. I just love when book jackets are kind of shiny and they have raised things, and oh my gosh, it was so pretty. And not only that, but it has the little Sarah J. Maas blurb right here. An instant new classic, a fierce and vibrant world. Richly drawn characters and dazzling intrigue. Do not miss out. So that's super exciting. So basically what this book is about a series of witches who have different powers, and we follow a girl named Saphia? We're gonna go with Saphia right now. Good grief, can there be a pronunciation guide in the back? Because I have no idea how to pronounce these names. There's no pronunciation key. Gosh dang it. I'm gonna call her Saphia, yeah? Basically, she is a truth witch, and truth witches are the type of witch who have the power to tell when people are lying, which is super cool. And we also follow another witch called, oh boy, I'm gonna botch this name, Iswelt. So Iswelt is a thread witch, meaning she can see the magic bonds between people and their fates. And basically these two witches have to come together to save their empire from this terrible war that's coming to the Witchlands. Then there's this other character, Prince Merrick, who's a wind witch. Ooh, that sounds cool. And he's a ship's captain, so he's like a pirate, but a witch. A witch pirate, that's cool. And as it says in the book, they must fight emperors, princes, and mercenaries alike who will stop at nothing to get their hands on the Truth Witch. So this book sounds really interesting. I'm really excited to read this, and I'm pretty sure, because even Sarah J. Maas's little blurb says don't miss out, and she loved it, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it too. Book number 4. So while I was in school, my friend actually read this book, and they said it was fantastic, and they loved it, so I went ahead and picked it up from Barnes & Nobles, and that book is, I caught that weird, The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau? Okay, that's close enough. I actually don't know too much about this book, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the emblem for you guys. The 7 Stages War left much of the planet a charred wasteland. The future belongs to the next generation's chosen few, who must rebuild it. But to enter this elite group, candidates must first pass the testing, their one chance at a college education and a rewarding career. Saya Vale is honored to be chosen as a testing candidate, eager to prove her worthiness as a university student and future leader of the United Commonwealth. But on the eve of her departure, her father's advice hints at a darker side to her upcoming studies. Trust no one. Surely, though, she can trust Thomas, her handsome childhood friend, who offers an alliance. Thomas, who seems to care more about her with the passing of every grueling and deadly day of the testing. To survive, Saya must choose love without truth or life without trust. This sounds really interesting. It almost kind of sounds like how The Hunger Games or Divergent would go, even though, Divergent didn't have, like, the whole college thing. It was more or less, being sorted into the factions and stuff. But that's kind of the feel that I'm getting. And I really loved the Divergent series, except for Allegiant. Just kind of a letdown, but that's besides the point. Again, I'm really excited to read this, and thank you, Bryce, for recommending this to me. I'm totally gonna pick this up and finish this summer, and hopefully I'll get the rest of the series too. Bow. Book number 5. This is a book that I've actually seen a whole lot of booktubers read, and solely because of that reason right there, I was like, hey, let's go ahead and give this book a try. Because this is a great book, and that book is... Oh, it's upside down. Oh no, it's not. I'm bad at catching books. Incarceron by Catherine Fisher. This book, okay, look at the cover. It's got a really pretty key on it, and it changes color as it reflects from the sun. It's so pretty. Just look at it. That's a really pretty key. I wish my house key looked like that. Man. Basically, Incarceron is a prison, and it's supposed to be like this top-notch prison that like no one can escape for, except there has been one man that has escaped, ever. And that's a big deal, because apparently no one's supposed to escape from Incarceron. So basically, we follow this guy named Finn, and he believes that he came from outside Incarceron, and apparently outside Incarceron is its own place. So there's like Incarceron, and then the rest of everything is outside Incarceron. That's kind of interesting to me, because that's very, very vague, but good for him for thinking he comes from somewhere other than a prison. And he decides one day, I'm gonna escape from here. But then Finn finds a girl named Claudia through a crystal key, and oh my gosh, can I just say how much I love the name Claudia? Like, you could say it so prettily, like Claudia, 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 put a little cl sound. And not only does Finn think he comes from the outside, but he likes Claudia because Claudia claims to live outside Incarceron. And Finn's mind is just like, whoa, someone else lives from outside Incarceron? Like, what the heck? And then apparently later in this book, they realize that Incarceron is alive, and there's more than meets the eye in Incarceron. So this sounds like an epic escape story, which I'm totally excited for and cannot wait to read. Yes, yes, yes. Wait, okay, wait. Let me see if I can do this. Hang on, I can do it. It's only 5. I should be able to do it. Yay! Wait, one hand? Can we go one hand? Yay! So that is my Summer TBR. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Whoa. And I will see you